All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into this really fascinating paradox that sits right at the heart of modern Italy. So this is your shortcut to understanding how a country that's so deeply rooted in ancient tradition is, believe it or not, using that exact heritage to build its future. Let's jump right in.
Okay, let's kick things off with a number. 77%. So 77% of Italians eat a very specific kind of snack at least twice a week. I mean, what could possibly be that essential to daily life, right? Well, it turns out this little snack opens up a huge window into Italy's culture and its economy.
It's called la merendina. And listen, this is way more than just a snack. It's practically a cultural ritual. You can kind of think of them as the mass-produced versions of those amazing homemade Italian sweets everyone loves. We're talking about a tiny 35-gram portion of pure joy. And get this, it's not some little niche thing. This is a massive 1.4 billion euro industry, all built on these little treats.
You know, that little snack is really a perfect example of a modern tradition, but it grows out of something so much deeper, a whole national heritage that isn't just locked away in a museum somewhere. No, it's being actively grown and celebrated all across the country right now.
All right, here's another number for you. 58. So what's 58? Well, that's how many officially recognized ceramic cities there are all across Italy. And right now, they're all celebrating their most famous craft at the exact same time. It's basically a nationwide party for pottery.
The event's called Buongiorno Ceramica, which means Good Morning Ceramics. And let me tell you, this is not about staring at dusty old artifacts behind glass. It's a living, breathing, 48-hour festival. You can literally watch a master artisan using methods that are centuries old, and then, right next door, walk into a gallery that's showing off some super cutting-edge contemporary ceramic art. And you're doing all this while you're eating local food and watching performances. It's just the perfect snapshot of how heritage can be super dynamic and totally plugged into modern life.
So, from the art you can actually touch, let's move on to the art you can taste. This quote, I think, just captures the spirit of another one of these nationwide events so perfectly. It's for an event called Mielerie d'Italia, or open honey houses. And the idea here is that tasting honey is kind of like taking a journey through the Italian landscape itself.
So you've got over 190 beekeepers opening their doors for this, and for a really good reason. See, Italy's biodiversity is just incredible, which means it produces more than 50 completely distinct kinds of honey. Everything from super delicate acacia to a really rich, robust chestnut. So as a visitor, you can go on guided tastings and even these things they call scent journeys, which connect the smell of the honey right back to the specific flowers of that region. It's like you're literally tasting a place and its ecosystem. Okay, so this deep respect for the land and for natural products, it's not just about preserving the past, it's actually the foundation for some really cutting-edge, nature-inspired innovation. So here's a little thought experiment for you. Imagine you're part of an apple co-op up in the beautiful Dolomite Mountains. Your harvest is getting bigger and bigger, so you need more storage. The problem? Building giant, ugly warehouses would completely ruin that pristine landscape. So what do?
Well, the answer is just as simple as it is brilliant. You don't build on the mountain, you go inside it.
This is incredible. The Melinda Cooperative built the world's first ever underground fruit refrigeration facility. They did it by repurposing 34 chambers in an old mine 300 meters deep. The mountain itself creates this naturally stable cold temperature. And the results, they're just astounding. They save enough energy to power 2,000 homes a year. They've gotten rid of the need for polluting insulation panels. And on top of all that, the apples that come out are actually higher quality. It's just sustainable innovation in its absolute purest form. And that same spirit, using technology to work with nature, not against it, that's right at the heart of this thing called the Way.ai project. I mean, traditionally, trying to protect wildlife in remote areas was really hard. It was reactive. Something bad would happen and then you'd react. But this new AI-powered approach, it's changing the game completely.
So just how good is it? Well, it can identify different animal species and potential threats with 97.4% accuracy. I mean, that is a truly remarkable level of precision, especially for a system that's designed to work completely off-grid out in the wild. Right now, the WADAT project is being used to help protect the endangered Marsican brown bear. Because it processes images locally and in real time, it can actually connect to smart road signs and warn drivers when a bear is close to the road. This is proactive conservation. It's not waiting for an accident to happen. And maybe the best part? The technology is open source, so conservationists anywhere on the planet can adapt it for their own needs.
So you see this unique Italian blend of respecting heritage while really pushing innovation. It's not just for culture or for conservation, it's actually fueling the country's modern economic engine. Let's take a look at how that works.
Here's a number that represents a huge opportunity: 400. That's the number of state-owned properties. We're talking everything from historic buildings to big chunks of underused land that the Italian government has just opened up for private investment.
Their slogan is "Create Value, Invest with Us." And the goal here is way bigger than just making a quick buck. It's really a push for these public-private partnerships to kickstart urban renewal. The idea is to turn these forgotten assets into lively hubs for tourism, for housing, for business, creating real, lasting value for the local communities.
And speaking of value, it's pretty wild to see how major cultural moments can ripple through the economy. So, for example, a recent analysis looked at a hypothetical scenario. What if the next pope was an American? The projected pope effect on Rome would be just staggering. We're talking a potential boost of 400 million euros to the city's tourism GDP, all driven by an estimated 2 million new visitors from the US alone. It's just a powerful reminder of how culture really drives commerce.
Now, beyond just single events, the long-term economic health of Italy is really being driven by its big cities. The latest Smart City Index puts Bologna, Milan, and Turin in the top 3 spots. But it's really interesting to see what smart means in this context. It's not just about having the latest tech. It's a much more holistic view, one that puts a huge emphasis on things like ecological transition, social inclusion, and just the overall quality of life for the people who live there.
And part of that quality of life is actually woven right into the country's economic fabric. A really key feature is the system of extra paychecks. You've got the tredicesima, which is a 13th month salary that's mandatory for all employees, paid out right before Christmas. But then on top of that, a lot of workers also get quattrodecima, a 14th month salary paid in July. It's basically a system of deferred pay that has a huge impact on the whole rhythm of life and spending in the country.
So where is all this heading? I mean, from snacks to smart cities, a really clear theme starts to pop up, doesn't it? It's this focus on a human-centric future, one that blends the very best of the old world with all the possibilities of the new.
And honestly, nothing captures this idea better than an initiative in healthcare called the percorso perla, or the Pearl Pathway. Now, this isn't some rating of how good a doctor is at surgery. It's a certification for excellence in the human experience of getting care. It's based entirely on anonymous patient feedback. Did they feel heard, respected, supported? It's all about treating the whole person, not just the illness. It's a modern system for sure, but it's built on these totally timeless human values.
So we've seen how tradition can inspire everything from a simple snack to incredible works of art, and how innovation is being used to protect nature and build smarter, more humane cities. It all paints this picture of a country that's constantly evolving, which really leaves us with that big central question. How is this uniquely Italian blend of deep, deep tradition and forward-looking innovation going to shape the country's future?